I've always wondered what I would look like without vitiligo, and today I'm about to find out with this. This is the fullest coverage foundation I've ever used. It's actually made for people with vitiligo, and I've tried a lot of foundations in the past, so I'm very excited to show you this one. This is Vitacolor by Crayolan Professional Makeup. Look at the coverage. That is a single swipe, and it's already just covering the vitiligo so well. That's no primers, no color correctors, nothing underneath, just Vitacolor. They've got quite a few different colors, so I did get color matched, so I have tried it on my skin before, but I haven't really done a full face. Now, I'm not going to do my ears because I don't want to have to clean between all of my earrings to get makeup off. So just like the last video, just pretend like the ears don't exist. I'm using this shade 43, and it is a tad darker than my natural skin complexion, but it is a really close match. All right, I'm going to do the other side by pumping it out onto my skin first. We're going to do about that much, and I'm just going to blend it out. Now, this is actually their old packaging and this is their new packaging. They've sized down because this product goes a long way and it was just lasting ages. I also have a color that matches my lighter skin, so if you want me to do it the opposite way around, I can also do that. And for that, I will need the color correctors. But this is basically the full face. I'm going to take it down my neck a little to blend that out. And as you can see, it is quite shiny because it's obviously still wet. What I'm going to do is go over it with the powder and then the fixing spray. Now this is going to help mattify the foundation, and if I do it on half my face, you'll be able to see. Also give it a bit of a spray with the fixing spray. And as you can see, this side, it's got like a nice glow, and this side is, you can see it's a lot more wet because I haven't set it down yet. Now, while I set this side, let me tell you why I haven't really tried another vitiligo foundation. Firstly, they're really hard to find. As you've seen, I've tried a lot of foundations and none of them really come close to this amount of coverage with a small amount straight out of the tube. And secondly, when I was 7 years old, my mum put some makeup on me, and I know that her friend had vitiligo, so I think she'd gotten it from her friend, and it was super heavy on the face. Also for a 7-year-old, like, it's not something I really wanted to do. And so it kind of put me off using a vitiligo foundation. But I can totally see why this product is needing to exist, because if you have vitiligo or, you know, other types of pigmentation that you just want to, you know, cover up for any purpose at all, then this is really good for that. And ultimately, it's your choice on what makes you feel confident. But for me, this is more of a fun experiment. Also, as you can see, I have vitiligo all over my body, in particular my hands, which are, you know, always going to be out and around, versus the rest of my body, you know, is a little bit more easily covered up. I'm actually going to apply some other makeup to this face to try and like create like a full face of makeup. I'm going to start with a blush because I love blush. I do actually wish this makeup was around when I was 7, or that my mum had found it when I was 7, because it would have been interesting to know how different my upbringing would have been if this was in my life when I was younger. Like, would it have added to the amount of confidence that I would have had if I was able to cover up some of my little patches of vitiligo? Let's also do some eyebrow gel to just bring out my eyebrows a bit more and like match my darker hair. I'm also going to use a lip liner and do a lip, because I've been loving outlining my lips with a dark lip liner. It's made me feel a bit more like me and kind of connecting me back to like my dark roots. I'm just gonna add a bit of a pinky lip and a bit of gloss. You've probably seen people with darker skin do their makeup and they add lots of shades and contour and highlight to their makeup, and I've never done that before. So I'm really interested to try. I'm going to use a light powder, maybe in my under eyes, to just lighten my under eyes a bit, because obviously using a foundation like this that is super pigmented, it is only one color. and a natural face is going to be multiple colors. And while the Crayolan foundation is amazing, I want to experiment a bit. It looks kind of grey, but what I'm going to do is maybe go in with like one of these shades. I think maybe that one. I barely even remember the lines of my face. It's so weird seeing me have a full face of brown, and I often think like this is what I would have looked like if I didn't have vitiligo. I'm gonna add some eyeshadow as well. I'm going for like a deep purple because that's something I've always wondered what it would be like doing eyeshadow with a darker skin tone. And I know I haven't done the best job of application, but this is my first time. So if this is something you want me to try again, I definitely will. And I really want to try some of the like reverse contouring techniques that I see people do, because I feel like that's something that I would have had to have learned if I didn't have vitiligo, which is such a weird concept. Also gonna add some shimmer to my eyes, because why not? I love a bit of shimmer no matter what my skin tone is. And of course some mascara. I also love big lashes, and I always wonder what it would look like against darker skin. I think that's the thing about this foundation, is that it really makes me wonder like what my makeup experience would have been if I didn't have vitiligo and I didn't have such a big white patch in my face, because it means that I would have had to learn makeup completely differently. And when I started wearing makeup, I was wearing it differently because I had a lot more darker skin on my face. So having this foundation on is so interesting, and it's obviously taking a little while for me to get used to even like looking at myself like in the mirror. Okay, that is my mascara done. I'm also going to add some contour to my face because I feel like that's what I'm lacking, because usually when I do my makeup I shape my face a little bit, because as you can tell I have a very round face. So I'm going to do that and try and blend it out. And then lastly, to set everything, I'm going to do a bit more powder. Okay, this is my finished look and my first look with the Crayolan foundation. I should actually cover my ears. I'm so used to tucking my hair behind my ears, but then I forget that I haven't done my ears, so we're just gonna have to cover that up a bit. I feel like I look like a different person. Like I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, this is what I would have looked like if I didn't have vitiligo. And like my eyes are brighter, my teeth are brighter. I love that I feel like a little part of my identity is sort of coming back, especially being Sri Lankan and being dark skinned and then having, you know, quite a large portion of my body turn white or lose its pigment. I know for a lot of people that can be quite daunting and it can feel like you're losing your identity, which is where I feel like this foundation can bridge that gap, especially if you've got smaller patches, because it's a lot easier to cover. And like I said, you can use a color corrector underneath the powder and the setting spray to really matte it down and make it blend with your skin. This was my little palette that I used, and I still have like leftover foundation. So a little bit does go a long way, but for a first attempt to just slap it on, I am super impressed. This has performed better than any of my other foundations, probably because this one is made for vitiligo. So I will definitely be doing this again, and I want to play around with some contouring techniques, some blush techniques, and yeah, give them a try, because like I said, if I didn't have vitiligo, that would be my makeup experience, and that would be how I would have had to learn to do my own makeup. So stay tuned for that. I will share them soon. And as always, let me know what else you would like to see from me and what you thought of the Vitacolor foundation. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!